Hey there, entrepreneur. Nicole Holland here, and I just decided to record bonus episode 3 for you because earlier today I was hanging out in my membership community, the Tough Cookies, and one of my members had asked me about how long it took to get my podcast going, and I thought that I'd make a quick bonus episode around this. So my podcast launched actually 1 month ago. It's so hard to believe it's only been 4 weeks. It's been a whirlwind. It's been amazing. So exciting. And I have certainly learned a lot in this short amount of time. And I'm totally planning on doing another episode and probably an article about that. But for now, I'm just going to give you a quick breakdown of how I got the podcast off the ground and my 5 tips for how you can do the same. So last summer, the summer of 2015, I got inspired and knew that I wanted to have a podcast at some point, but I had too much on my plate. I was in the midst of planning for the Business Building Rockstars Summit, and it just wasn't realistic when I looked at my calendar to even think about focusing on it for 2015. And so I made the decision that I would launch it in 2016. I put that on my 2016 big project calendar, and that's really about as much attention as I gave it at that time. So I expected that I wanted to launch in the spring, and I also knew that I wanted to learn from John Lee Dumas, but that was really it. Now, in October of 2015, I think it was, John Lee Dumas sent out an email saying that he was about to close down the doors to his lifetime access for his membership community. From that point on, it would be a monthly or an annual commitment. And so I thought about it, and it was not great timing. I was just thinking, I've got so much on my plate. And even the financial commitment was huge to me at that time. And I thought, I don't think I can do this. And I really sat down with myself and questioned, is this something that you do want to do in 2016? Is this somebody that you do want to learn from? Is this something that you're truly committed to? And when I got really clear and serious with myself, the answer was yes, yes, yes. And so I couldn't afford not to join was what I came up with at that time. So I took the leap. I joined the program to get lifetime access, and I actually wasn't even thinking about jumping in for a while. And I didn't. I put it on the back burner, knowing that it was there when I was ready. Now, the next thing I did was I set up a time to talk with John about my podcast plans, and I scheduled that for February 17th of 2016. So it was still quite a ways away. It was months in advance. But I thought by that point, I will have completed some projects, and it will be time that I can look forward to the spring of 2016 and start really figuring out all this podcasting stuff. So a few weeks before my appointment with John on February 17th, I started cracking into the program, and I started looking at his system and going through the videos and going through the tutorials because I really wanted to make sure that I was prepared to get the most out of our one-on-one time together. It's not something he does very often, and it is definitely not something I was taking for granted. So I studied everything that I could for a couple of weeks before we connected. And then during our call, John asked me when my show was going to go live. And I was really, really uncomfortable with setting a date because I had so much on my plate, and I really didn't see a big window of time where I could really devote to doing everything I thought I had to do. And I was so overwhelmed, and I thought, oh my gosh, there is so much that I don't know. And everything that I was learning was sort of unveiling more things that I did not know. And I'm not somebody that likes to go into things half-assed. I like to make sure that my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted. Now, that said, I also am very aware that action trumps inaction. And so I try not to get myself so focused on what I want to see that I get stuck in a perfectionist attitude. I'm not a perfectionist, and I rarely fall into that because I really do believe that there is a fine line where you can prepare for something without it being perfect, but with it being good enough, and then be willing to tweak. And I mean, that's exactly what I've done here. Even today, My podcast is so far from perfect, but it's good enough. Like people are enjoying it. They're getting value from it. My guests are getting value. I am having a blast. And I'm constantly looking at things that I can do to make it better and better and better. And I think that's the key right there, is not getting stuck in perfectionism, but being willing to improve and then tweaking as you go. And now just going back for a moment to talk a little bit more about learning from John. And it's so important to get into a community where you're going to be supported. It's important to get the training about the stuff that you don't know. I absolutely endorse John's program, Podcaster's Paradise. And you can find out more about that if you go to bbrshow.com/paradise. And that will get you to the opportunity to join the same program that I'm in, that is led by John Lee Dumas and his partner, Kate Erickson. And it's just an incredible resource for anybody who wants to begin podcasting. And the other thing worth mentioning here is how important it is to get into a community where the leader is somebody who you trust and respect and is accessible. And in conversations with my clients and people in my community, I find time and again, people are really surprised at how accessible I am and how much time and attention I give to them when they aren't one-on-one clients. And that's one of the really cool things about joining a program or a community when it's new, when it's fresh, when it's just launching. And if you're interested in finding out more about my community, the Tough Cookies, you can visit bbrshow.com/cookie to get more information. I would love to welcome you into the community if you're somebody who resonates with my message and who is also motivated, and you're an action taker, and you also would like that support and somewhere to bounce ideas off of and somewhere to get additional training and pointed in the right direction. You'll find out all the information you need by going to bbrshow.com/cookie, or if you're not at a computer, you can text the word cookie to 33444. Okay, so John Lee Dumas in our one-on-one call encouraged me to set a date. I was so not ready to set a date, but I decided on the date of March 21st. So again, we were talking on February 17th. I settled in on March 21st, which, truth be told, John pushed me. He said, you really don't need that long. Like, you need to get out there. You need to start doing it. And while I totally agreed and I was so uncomfortable, but I was willing to be uncomfortable, there were a few things I still needed to tie up that were happening. Like, I was in the middle of promoting Gina Gabellini's launch, and there were just a bunch of things that sort of needed my attention immediately. And I wanted to really be able to focus on the podcast to the degree that it really deserved to be focused on. So March 21st it was, and then I began setting up my systems to support that. And I started reaching out to the people who I wanted to interview immediately. And I wound up recording the first 5 interviews for my podcast on February 23rd, which was less than 1 week after my call with John. Now, as of today, 1 month after the date that my show first aired, I've already recorded 42 interviews. And the next 20 interviews are already scheduled to be recorded by the end of May. So you might be thinking, wait, what? How did you do it? And how can I replicate that? So here are my bottom line tips. Number 1, get clear. You've got to know, what is it that you want to do with your show? Who is your audience? What is your message? What kind of format do you want to deliver this in? Now, this isn't to say that these things can't change. I mean, they've changed slightly for me, but at least for a starting point, get that clarity around where you want to begin at. Number 2, get systems. You have to build out the infrastructure before anything else if you're going all in. Seriously, I would not be able to do this kind of show in the way that I'm doing it if not for the infrastructure that I created. And rather than list out all of the different tools I use, because there's quite a few, you can head over to bbrshow.com bbr.com/resources, where I list out all of my favorite tools and the things that I could not run my business without. Again, that's bbrshow.com/resources. And of course, we'll also have all of this on the show notes page at bbrshow.com. Number 3, get training. There is probably so much that you don't know, and getting the 411 from someone who has already been there and done it is vital. I mean, you can do it without that support, but it's going to take a heck of a lot longer than it would with that support. So I would recommend, again, John's program, which is bbrshow.com/paradise to find out about that. As far as if you're like a DIYer and you, like me, you want to get all of those things yourself and really learn and put it all together, I can't think of any other way that I would recommend. Other than if you are not a DIYer, or if you're like a partial DIYer, but you want to save some time, like a significant amount of time and a significant amount of searching through content. And if you're wanting to map out your launch fast and you want massive focus, then I'd love to invite you to book some time with me one-on-one. And you can do that by visiting bbrshow.com/VIP. Again, bbrshow.com/VIP. Now, my time is very limited, and I actually just opened up some space on my calendar for this, but I don't expect that it's going to be open very long. So if you are serious and you're ready to make a move, then bbrshow.com/VIP is where you're going to want to go right away so that you can book a session with me and we can sit down together and really map things out for your podcast. Number 4, get support. You need a sounding board of people who get it. Now, if you join John's program, bbrshow.com/paradise, there is a lot of that built in. And of course, I'm also so proud of my brand new community, the Tough Cookies. And again, I'd love to welcome you there. If you feel like it might be a fit, check it out, bbrshow.com/cookie. That support piece, having the sounding board, the community, it's just so important. And number 5 is act. Yes, proper preparation is essential. But after that's out of the way, you have to take action. I see way too many entrepreneurs talking about what they're going to do, and a year later, they're still talking about what they're going to do. This is not okay. Not if you're planning on making money, or on having a show, or really on doing anything. Dreaming is all fine and well, but dreaming and not doing isn't going to get you to your goals. You have to take inspired action. Now, if you're stuck, it's probably a mindset issue, and there are plenty of resources out there that you can invest in to help you with your mindset. But I want to let you know that I have a free resource. It's called the Master Your Mindset Challenge. It is where I walk you step by step through Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. If you have not read this book, you really, really should. It is one of the most monumental professional development books for entrepreneurs, in my opinion. It was published in 1937. And the teachings hold as true today as they ever did. So if you would like that support, again, it's completely free. And you even get a copy of the book for free, PDF form. Go to bbrshow.com/challenge. And if you're scared about doing all of this, good. You should be. We all are. But unless you're willing to stretch beyond your comfort zone, then not much is going to happen. So grab your guts, stuff them back in your belly, and let's get moving. Seriously, if you want to have a podcast, there is nothing at all stopping you except for you. So again, I would love to support you. There's tons of ways, whether you would like to join me for a one-on-one session, whether you would like to join the Tough Cookies community, whether you would like to join my free Master Your Mindset Challenge, it is all available to you. And of course, John Lee Dumas's program, Podcaster's Paradise. All of these things are there and available for you to grab anytime you want. So again, I know I threw a whole bunch of links at you, and you probably aren't even at a computer right now. You might be out running or driving or whatever. So just remember bbrshow.com. That is where you're going to find all of this information. You can find the show notes, all of the links, all of the resources, and everything. So thank you for listening to today's episode. I would love to know your thoughts. I would love to hear about anything that you might like me to do a bonus episode about. And you can let me know by either leaving a comment on the show notes page or tweet me using the hashtag BBRShow. Thank you so much. And until next time, have a great day.